How's it kicking, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the HOD of the PSP. Like, share, comment on the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Enable notifications to receive all the updates from these videos and all the content on the channel, including the podcast episodes drop in, of course. Transfer news, and we talked about it in the podcast. We mentioned it briefly. I said that Marcel Sabitzer is officially joining Bayern Munich, and I decided to talk about it in a separate video just to analyze it a little bit. It's a big news for Bayern, considering that their transfer window has been pretty calm as of late. Of course, they put Upamecano already halfway through the season. We knew that Julian Nagelsmann would be the next manager for Bayern, and he was already starting the season with a team, of course. And now Marcel Sabitzer is joining Bayern. There was a couple of other additions. Both Omar Richards and Chris Richards were added to the side. Chris Richards was brought in from the MLS. Omar Richards was brought in from Reading in the Championship in England to join the club. And now, of course, the latest addition is Marcel Sabitzer, reportedly for a fee of 16 million euros, is joining Bayern. Also reportedly, there were other offers on the table. There were better offers on the table financially. Reportedly, there was a 22 million euros deal and bid from Liverpool to join the Reds for Marcel Sabitzer, but he declined all of those and he decided to join Bayern. I think Julian Nagelsmann played a big factor in this. I'm sure of that. Maybe he saw the fact that Upamecano and Nagelsmann went there. Yes, I want to address that before everything. It looks like a raid for RB Leipzig when you think about it. It looks like Bayern Munich just poached the best things out of Leipzig as a club. But they could have done the same with Timo Werner. They could have poached him before he left Chelsea. Yes, it leaves a sour taste for the Bundesliga. Yes, people would look at it like, okay, Bayern are raiding another team that can compete with them once again to just hold them from winning the title. But, you know, that's life. It's a merry-go-round in the Bundesliga. You see managers and players moving from a team to another in the Bundesliga and nobody makes anything about it. But why are people only focusing on it when it happens to Bayern? But enough of that. This is not a good talk really to do as a content for this. I'm talking about the value of Marcel Sabitzer as a player, what he could add to Bayern Munich. I'm thinking he's going to be playing a little bit deeper in or as a number 10 if the potential is there. Obviously he can play a host of number positions. He can play as a central midfielder, you know, as an advanced midfielder, you know, the way Goretzka does. He can play the way Kimmich does, and also he can play in the Muller position as a number 10, which probably is going to be occupied by Musiala in the near future, potentially, if the guy continues his rise to the top, as meteoric as he is at the moment. Marcel Sabitzer is a versatile player, a well technically adapt player. He can really adapt to a lot of styles. He has a great vision. He can move the ball around pretty well. He controls the pace of the game. He's a player that Bayern might need at a certain point of the game. Yes, they have the firepower. Yes, Bayern, can go forward and can hit forward and have the support in the midfield and all of that, but probably they don't have enough players who could just slow the rhythm, just control the pace and set the tone for the game. Kimmich is one. Adding Sabitzer as another player of that caliber is going to be really, really good to the Bayern squad. Still, I don't think that the squad is that deep for Bayern, but the addition of Sabitzer would make a lot of difference, particularly in Champions League days and when the schedule start getting loaded with big matches. Surprise, surprise, the first match of the international break is going to be RB Leipzig versus Bayern Munich in the league. That's going to be quite a big fixture. Obviously, they're still sorting out the two boards, still sorting out how that's going to work. Potentially, Sabitzer is not going to play in that game against Leipzig. I expect so. I don't know if the same thing applies to Upamecano or not. I think it won't. But for Sabitzer, may be different. It's a good thing that he wanted to join Bayern instead of going to probably better and bigger deals. I'm sure that Tottenham had a big interest in him since last summer. They were interested in him in the mid transfer window during last season, and it didn't go through. Certainly, by getting someone like Sabitzer is a big coup, and particularly adding another body in the midfield, it's a big addition to their squad. Adding another body in the midfield. Now, I think the problem is that Bayern still need certain other positions to fill. The right back in particular is a pretty big headache for Bayern Munich. Bunassar is not doing well. Benjamin Pavard, it doesn't seem to be fit, and it looks like this season is going to be Josip Stanisic's season as a right back. If he rises to the challenge, if he steps up to the plate and does as Kimmich did when he first arrived at the senior team in Bayern, and potentially prove himself as an adequate option in the right back position and stop the headache for Bayern. Since Kimmich started becoming more central in the midfield, really. I almost said since the exit of Lahm, but realistically Kimmich was really good as a right back. So potentially since the fact that Kimmich went central, his original position, and Bayern Munich didn't have exactly the greatest time filling in for that right back position. Back to Sabitzer. As I mentioned, he's an all-rounder, well-cued player. He knows how to adapt to tactical styles. Obviously, under Nagelsmann, he knows the coach really well, so I don't think there will be a lot of trouble in communication and in an adaptation with the team and with the players. He knows Upamecano already. And obviously, the fact that he moved from a Bundesliga team makes him a little bit aware of what the Bayern strengths are and how he's going to slot straight into that squad. Of course, as I mentioned, I can't wait to see him don the Bayern shirt. I love him. He's probably my favorite player aside from the Bayern players in the Bundesliga, and I want to see him don the Bayern shirt and tear it down alongside Kimmich and Goretzka in that midfield department. It will be amazing to watch. It's a good deal. Overall, the Bayern Munich transfer window is not that great, but still, when you bring in two players like Upamecano and Sabitzer and you renew for Kimmich and Goretzka, particularly Kimmich, who's a legend, I think, already in my opinion in Bayern, that's a good thing to do. Thanks for watching. I was with HD of the PSP. Like, share, comment on the video what you think of the deal, subscribe to the YouTube channel, enable notifications to receive all the updates, and of course, follow us on social media. The links in the description. The screen has the usernames, and we're available on Spotify if you want to check out the podcast. The episode dropped earlier, and goodbye.